Welcome into the Face Mask Podcast. It's another episode with you boys.
What is going on?
Nick Payne, Josh.
What is going on?
Nick Payne, John Elsace. What's going on? Lots of stuff. We have lots of things to talk about when it comes to everything that's happened post-draft.
Yeah. I mean, literally every team, there's ripple effects from the draft and from some of the stuff that's happened in free agency for literally every team in the NFL. It's an exciting period.
Yeah, it's the best part of the offseason to do some drafting, because if you get out in front of some situations before they develop and you hit on them, it's like league-winning shit.
League-winning shit. I'm going to quote you on that.
League-winning shit. Speaking of shit, you know who's shit?
Ontario Hardesty.
No, we don't slander his name. Get out of here. Anthony Lynn is shit.
Dude.
Let's talk about something like a bit of a recent development up in Detroit. I don't care. I'm just going to say it. Anthony Lynn is a moron. I don't care if it's coach speak or not. The guy's an idiot. Came out recently and referred to Jamal Williams, not DeAndre Swift, as a potential A back. I have A in quotes, so whatever that exactly means. So basically throwing some water on the DeAndre Swift flame hype train by suggesting that Jamal Williams is the A back because of the skill set that he brings over DeAndre Swift. It's all right there on tape for you. Jamal Williams is a nice player. DeAndre Swift can be a workhorse back for you. That's all. That's what it comes down to. So, fun times in Detroit.
Dude, I don't think there's anything to see here. I think it doesn't. This little revelation does not matter at all. This A back, B back stuff doesn't matter at all. Because
he called Jamal a classic A back.
Austin Eckler was Anthony Lynn's back last season. He was the RB 14 in points per game in half PPR, despite never playing over. Let's see, he played 56 snaps in week 3. Outside of that, he was never over 60. He was never over 60, and the majority of weeks he's in the 40s. If DeAndre Swift has a 40% snap roll in 2021 with the right usage, with the usage we all know he's going to get, he's going to have no problem putting up high-end RB2, low-end RB1 numbers week to week, which is exactly what you were expecting from him in the first place. So I don't see what. Yes, Anthony Lynn is a dumbass.
Yeah, he is.
First off, anybody who runs, I don't know. Let's not get into it. The
NFL has some dumb people in there. It's ridiculous.
I don't think that this hurts DeAndre Swift's value at all. I think that, if anything, this makes me think maybe I might take a few more stabs on Jamal Williams in a few best balls. Because I think he's going to
I'd rather just buy the dip of DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, but if
because his ADP has gone down a little bit, not significantly, but a little bit.
Prior to last season, when you had
and he better get more than
Eckler,
40% of the snaps.
When you had Eckler and you had Melvin Gordon in the same offense under Anthony Lynn,
yeah,
Melvin Gordon was also a fantasy relevant player, and he was only getting about 30 to 40% of the snaps himself. So if that's the role that they give to a Jamal Williams, and he's only getting 35 to 40% of the snaps, but they're Melvin Gordon usage snaps, they're all in the red zone, I think that's valuable.
They'll both vulture
Jamal
each other.
Williams is not a small back. He's 6'1".
No,
he'll
he's
be
bigger
used in the red
for the
zone.
position. He fills the Melvin Gordon type role, not the Austin Eckler role.
The only thing that this signals is that maybe people should be taking more stabs on Jamal Williams than they have been. That's all. DeAndre Swift should not move in anybody's rankings.
No, he shouldn't move down, and if he does, you buy immediately. Yeah, I mean, the anticipation was always going to be that Jamal Williams was going to have some type of value. That's generally what happens when you actually go out of your way in the offseason to sign a running back, commit dollars over multiple years, even if it's not that much. Right. Even if it's not that much, you've got a role carved out and planned for this player. That's got to be the mindset going into any signing, right? Especially when it comes to something like a running back. You have a plan already in place for the player. So Jamal Williams is going to have a role. 40% of the snaps, sure. But 60% better go to Swift. It better not be 40% of the snaps. Swift is by far their most talented all-around player. Now, Anthony Lynn, to go back to the quote, and we're paraphrasing the quote, not taking it word for word at any point here, but the idea here is that the A-back is more of a between the tackles type of runner, and that's what Williams would bring. Now, don't get it twisted. Williams can catch the ball as well.
That's exactly what that sounds like.
Right. Who was also able to, or still is able to catch the football. So Williams can do that as well. In this situation, though, the difference is between that situation that Anthony Lynn had in LA and this situation in Detroit is your B back. Nobody is disagreeing, or nobody's challenging the talent level of Melvin Gordon and the talent level of Austin Eckler. What is the difference here is the gap in talent between DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams is much more significant.
It's a lot like the talent
than between Gordon and Eckler.
Like the talent disparity between Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones.
Sure.
And at times Jamal Williams was
Jones
still
is
valuable.
more of a between the. And Jones Jones, I would say, is a little bit better of a between the tackles runner than Eckler is, whereas Eckler might be a little bit better as a receiving back.
To Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, so to that point, Swift should have Aaron Jones's role.
Right, but Williams is still valuable. Especially if it's an offense that will prioritize using him a little bit more in the red zone.
Oh, and I think they want to run the football. Obviously, they committed to the offensive line. They drafted Penny Sewell in the first round.
They traded Jason Huntley a season ago. They drafted him in the fifth round and then traded him in the same offseason.
True. Williams ADP, I'm just looking this up for research purposes, 157. So you can have him 150 plus picks into the draft. And yeah, you're talking about a guy who could see a lot of red zone work and will spell Swift maybe to a frustrating point if you're a Swift owner.
And what happens if Swift goes down? Then you're looking at Jamal Williams having the majority of a backfield in which the rest of the team is pretty devoid of talent. So if he ever finds himself in a workhorse role, it's really going to be him and Hawk, and then maybe Brashad Perryman.
Yeah.
So if he has the same path to workload that people like Tony Pollard have, that people like Alexander Madison have. So
Madison, Darrell Henderson, AJ Dillon. We're talking about we're talking about Jamal Williams. We can talk about the guy who replaced Jamal Williams.
Yep.
Yeah, that short list, the short list of clear number two guys behind an incumbent who have a path to a huge workload if anything were to happen to the starter. So Jamal Williams is going to be involved. That was never going to be a question. What is the question is, at what cost to DeAndre Swift? So is he, are you still drafting him in the second round? Are you letting him slide to the third? Either way, you're talking about a guy who should be drafted as a top 15 running back. Will he return those results? I mean,
Yeah, I just
Detroit
think
running back hasn't returned, but Swift is different.
I think he'll return
and
those results, but I think the hope
role.
that he's going to be a top 5, top 6 back is a little bit squashed. That's his overall ceiling is squashed. But I think the reality of where he should rank and where he is ranked is it shouldn't move. He should still be ranked RB15, RB14.
Yeah. Should be right around that top 15 range where he's sniffing the low end RB1 totals, and he could get there, but there could be another guy in the backfield that ultimately holds him back from doing that.
The thing is,
at least for the next couple of seasons.
So much young running back talent in the league right now. You have 6 of the top 15 running backs in startups being rookies from last season. You know what I'm so like.
Right. Right. There's a bevy of talent at the position right now. Young, emerging talent.
So if he gets pushed down a little bit, it's almost really not a knock on him. It's just there's for the first time in a long time, there was an infusion of some young talent. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there was some extra talent added to the running back
4 or 5
group.
more backs. So it's like
3.
We'll
definitely
see how it plays
3.
Out. We'll see how it plays out.
I think it ends after 3, but
could be another James Robinson hiding in the weeds.
Yeah, I don't think that's likely, but if it is, it's Jared Dokes on Miami. Anyway, I think
take?
Swift will be good. Yeah, that's my hot take. Jared Dokes. End of the second round is perfectly fine for Swift. If you happen to get him at the top of the third, at that point, consider it a bit of a robbery.